Sometimes the most painful moments in life are the ones nobody sees coming. For influencer and author Jen Hamilton, the past few weeks have been some of the most difficult of her life. After confirming that her marriage to Brian Hamilton has come to an end, Jen is now opening up about the emotional reality of separation, and her heartbreaking comparison has resonated with thousands of people online. According to Jen, navigating divorce feels remarkably similar to giving birth. It's a comparison that immediately caught people's attention, but when she explained what she meant, many viewers understood exactly where she was coming from. In a candid video shared with her followers, Jen described the emotional pain of separation as something that comes in waves. One moment, everything seems manageable. The next moment, a sudden rush of emotion appears without warning. A memory, a conversation, a thought, and suddenly, the pain returns all over again. Jen compared these emotional surges to contractions during labor. Just when you think the worst has passed, another wave arrives. And perhaps the hardest part is not knowing when it will finally end. For many people watching her videos, this raw honesty felt deeply relatable. Divorce is often discussed in terms of legal documents, court proceedings, and financial arrangements. But what is often overlooked is the emotional impact. The grief, the uncertainty, the feeling that life as you knew it is suddenly changing. Jen admitted that what frustrates her most right now is the unpredictability of her emotions. Some mornings she wakes up feeling strong, productive, and optimistic. She can work, she can focus, she can move forward. Then, without warning, something triggers a memory, and everything changes. In an instant, the confidence disappears and the sadness takes over. It's an emotional roller coaster that many people who have experienced heartbreak understand all too well. What makes Jen's story especially unique is that she has chosen to share much of this journey publicly. As a content creator with a large online audience, she faces a challenge that many people never experience. Not only is she dealing with personal heartbreak, but she is doing so while thousands of strangers watch and comment. The situation became even more complicated after a video of Jen crying went viral. What she believed was a private moment of vulnerability quickly became national news. The attention caught her off guard. In fact, Jen later admitted that she regretted posting the emotional video. Not because her feelings weren't real, but because she never expected such an intimate moment to spread so widely. She explained that in that moment of pain, she simply wanted reassurance. She wanted someone to tell her that everything would eventually be okay. Instead, headlines appeared, articles were written, and suddenly, one of the most difficult periods of her life became public conversation. It's a reality many influencers face today. Social media allows creators to connect with their audiences on a deeply personal level. But it also means that vulnerable moments can travel far beyond their intended audience. Still, despite the challenges, Jen continues to be remarkably honest about what she's experiencing. Rather than pretending everything is fine, she has chosen to share both the highs and the lows. And perhaps that's why so many people feel connected to her story. Because heartbreak isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's confusing, sometimes it's waking up feeling okay and going to bed feeling devastated. Throughout this difficult period, Jen says she has relied heavily on the support system around her. Family members have stepped in to help, friends have offered encouragement, simple acts of kindness have become incredibly meaningful. One touching example came when her mother brought over pancakes and helped with household chores. For some people, that might seem like a small gesture. But during moments of emotional crisis, those small gestures often mean everything. They remind us that we are not alone. They remind us that even during our darkest moments, there are people willing to stand beside us. Perhaps one of the most surprising revelations Jen shared was that she remains in communication with Brian. According to her, they recently spoke, and she indicated that he is healing and doing well. That detail offered followers a glimpse into the complicated reality of separation. Even when relationships end, concern for another person's well-being doesn't necessarily disappear overnight. The process of moving forward can be messy, emotional, and filled with conflicting feelings. As Jen continues navigating this new chapter of her life, many supporters have praised her courage. Not because she has all the answers. Not because she appears strong every second of every day. But because she is willing to be honest about her struggles. In a world filled with carefully curated social media posts and perfectly edited highlight reels, vulnerability can be surprisingly powerful. Jen Hamilton's story serves as a reminder that healing is rarely a straight line. There are good days. There are bad days. There are moments of strength and moments of pain. And sometimes, as Jen described so honestly, healing can feel a lot like labor. Painful, unpredictable, exhausting, but ultimately leading toward a new beginning. As she continues this journey, thousands of followers are cheering her on, hoping that brighter days lie ahead. And while the future remains uncertain, one thing is clear. Jen Hamilton's willingness to share her truth has touched people far beyond her own community. Because no matter who we are, heartbreak is something that connects us all. And sometimes, hearing someone say, "I'm struggling too," is exactly what another person needs to hear.